The world is loud. Your phone is loud. Your thoughts are loud. Yet your soul feels unheard. You live surrounded by voices, opinions, notifications, expectations. But clarity feels distant. Silence frightens most people, because in silence there is nowhere to hide. No distraction, no escape, only truth. If you constantly seek noise, it is not because you enjoy it. It is because something inside you is asking to be heard. Be still and listen carefully. Silence exposes what noise hides. When sound disappears, the mind speaks. Unfinished thoughts rise. Unhealed pain surfaces. Uncontrolled desires appear. This is why silence feels heavy. Not because it is empty, but because it is honest. Most people avoid silence the way they avoid mirrors, because silence shows you exactly where you are. Jesus often withdrew into silence, not because he was weak, but because he understood that power is restored in stillness. Silence is not absence, it is awareness. Constant noise keeps the mind reactive. You react before you reflect. You respond before you understand. Noise trains the mind to chase, not to choose. This is why anxiety grows in a noisy life. The mind never rests. The soul never speaks. You may be busy, yet empty. You may be entertained, yet restless. The soul was never designed to process endless stimulation. It was designed to reflect, to understand, to align. Where there is no silence, there is no depth. Silence builds authority. A quiet mind sees clearly. A clear mind chooses wisely. This is why the calm person often carries more power than the loud one. Noise creates confusion. Silence creates clarity. Jesus did not rush to answer. He paused. He observed. He spoke with intention. And because his words rose from silence, they carried weight. When you become quiet, you stop reacting to life and start responding to it. Silence returns control to the one who listens. Within you, there is a quiet voice, not the voice of impulse, not the voice of fear, but the voice of conscience, the voice of wisdom. Noise drowns this voice. Silence amplifies it. This is why clarity often comes when you are alone, walking, sitting, or resting without distraction. God does not shout. Truth does not scream. It waits to be noticed. When you remove noise, the important becomes obvious, and the unnecessary fades away. Silence is not isolation, it is intentional stillness. Begin gently. Sit without your phone. Walk without headphones. Eat one meal without distraction. Do not try to control thoughts. Let them rise. Let them pass. Observe without judgment. Silence is not something you force. It is something you allow. At first, the mind will resist. It will search for stimulation. Remain patient. What feels uncomfortable at first becomes peaceful with practice. Desire grows louder in noise. Stimulation feeds craving. Stillness weakens it. When the mind slows, impulses lose strength. This is why silence is one of the greatest tools for self-control. In silence, you see desire clearly instead of obeying it blindly. You realize This urge will pass. This feeling is temporary. Silence gives space between impulse and action, and in that space, freedom is born. God does not compete with noise. When the mind settles, clarity rises naturally, not as a voice from outside, but as understanding within. Questions that troubled you lose urgency. Confusion softens. Direction becomes clear. You stop asking, "What should I do?" and begin sensing what is right. This is how guidance works, not through pressure, but through peace. Silence prepares the heart to receive wisdom. You do not need a mountain to practice silence. You need intention. Moments between tasks, quiet mornings, still nights. Even 1 minute of awareness changes the direction of the mind. Silence does not remove responsibility, it improves it. A silent mind handles life better than a noisy one. You respond with patience. You act with clarity. You choose with intention. Many people fear silence because it feels like loneliness. But silence is not loneliness. It is presence with yourself. Loneliness comes from disconnection. Silence creates connection. When you can sit with yourself without distraction, you regain strength. You stop depending on noise to feel alive. You realize peace was never outside you. If your life feels chaotic, seek silence. If desire controls you, seek silence. If clarity feels distant, seek silence. Not to escape the world, but to return to it with strength. Silence is not empty. It is full of wisdom. Be still and let truth rise.